don't regret 1 cent I've committed. It's the one I'm about to commit that worries me.
That's Kevin Costner in the TV show Yellowstone, and it's filmed right here in Utah. In fact, if you've seen TV or movies in the last couple of years, you've probably seen something that's shot here in Utah. It's great. That's just one example of some of the success we're seeing in Utah when it comes to films and TV.
Lots of success. With us here this morning to talk about Utah Film Studios is Marshall Moore, VP of Operations and Marketing, all the way on my left, and then Gary Crandall, the studio's owner as well. Thanks for coming in.
Great, we appreciate it.
So I'm wondering why this is happening in Utah. Why so many films? Why so many people want to film here? What is it? So why don't, Marshall?
Sure.
Why don't we start with you?
Well, it's a beautiful state. Let's start there. But then going along with the beautiful state is you have the infrastructure that goes along with it. You've got the crew base, you've got talent here, and now you have a studio that's been here in place for 5 years. Before it was just a combination of finding the right warehouse or a place to have a temporary home, and now there's a permanent home at Utah Film Studios there, and it's proven to be successful over the past, 5 years now, starting with Blood and Oil on the ABC network, and now, of course, Yellowstone with the Paramount network, and a lot of independent film and commercials and events in between.
Yeah, I hadn't realized that Hereditary was shot in I mean, there are a lot of films up there that even I didn't know about were shot here.
That's one scary movie.
That's a good one. And, and it's nice. I mean, it's state-of-the-art. I've been up there, and we took some photos and video, and it is state-of-the-art.
It's a great facility.
Yeah.
It's, like you say, it's the state of the art, and we have a lot of people that come and they say, hey, this is better than anything in Los Angeles.
So, Gary, I'm kind of curious how a real estate company goes from just doing real estate to having a film studio. Obviously, you're looking at numbers. I would assume that you would want to make money, and so you're looking at this as possibly a way to do so, but why a film studio?
And how can we get in?
Yeah, on the bottom level, probably.
Yeah, ground floor.
Well, really, when we got involved in it, the thing that attracted us, of course, the studio was in the process of being built, and we finished out building the studio, but in addition to that, it also is entitled for another almost 300,000 square foot of buildable space. So that includes an office building, a hotel, mixed-use businesses, additional stages, and so it's a big opportunity to develop additional space.
Well, what did you see in this market, though, that you think maybe other investors didn't see?
I don't know. I guess they didn't have the vision.
I'm just curious. I mean, what do you think about it now after you've been involved in it now for 5 years?
Well, I think it's great. The 5 years that it's been open, it's brought somewhere in close to $100 to $120 million in production. We're doing very well since we bought our partner out 3 years ago, and since we've had it, it's been filled 100% of the time. So people drive by and they say, well, it's vacant half the time. Well, it's true they're not there, but they're making the payments 12 months out of the year.
Then it's full.
It's full.
We were just seeing pictures of it. So you're saying that there's plans to expand? There's room up there?
There's plenty of room. We've got 30 acres there. And so on that 30 acres, we've got almost 300,000 square foot more of buildable space.
Yeah, what people forget is that even if they're not right there in that studio, they've already shot in that studio. Now they're editing it somewhere. There's a lot going on all the time, even when you can't see it, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah, it's a combination of things, but what really is happening is it's a combination of working with the state of Utah, the Motion Picture Incentive Program that brings these projects here, and having a studio that provides a long-term environment for them to be in, the kind of a purpose-built studio that didn't exist really in this capacity before, outside of the Osmond Studios, which was built in the 1970s for the Donnie and Marie show.
And that was something that they were talking about when we were up there, that it gets a lot of people who ordinarily would have to go out of state experience here in the state with that kind of business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of different kind of jobs that people are going, oh, I can work at home, I can work here in the state, and yet do this thing that normally I could only do in L.A.
So, Marshall, is it easy to market Utah to these groups that want to do films?
Look, we're really close to Los Angeles. It's a 90-minute flight. We've got a moderately competitive incentive program, which we're working very hard to, with our state legislature, to increase what's available for productions, because during the course of a year we run out of money and then the production kind of slows down. So we're working to kind of increase that. And then, of course, like I mentioned, the locations, the crew, and everything that goes along with that, and having that studio as your home base kind of makes a great package for anybody that wants to film here.
We just had Amazon come look through the studio, but the state had to turn them down because they're out of money. So we turn away about $90 million of business every year that could be here.
You could send that our way.
We wouldn't know what to do with it, though.
I have ideas.
I'm sure you do.
There's a lot of room for growth in the
Sounds like it.
And we just have to expand our capacity to bring that growth in through that rebate program. And it's highly competitive. There are 40 other states and other countries offering competitive film incentives that we're competing against every day.
Well, it sounds like things are good and getting better. That's what it sounds like. So we're out of time. But thanks, Marshall. Always good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Gary, good luck with all of this.
Thanks very much. We appreciate you inviting us to be here.
Well, thank you. It's helping our economy as a whole, it sounds like. So appreciate it. All right, we're going to go out to Big Buddha right now. If you want to make glass, he's breaking glass. But then the beautiful thing is you just heat it and start over, B.
Dan, is it me or are you auditioning for voiceover work? It sounds like you've taken your voice